of Moto number 2 heading head first into Talladega turn number 1, the ITP first turn. And check out the speed these riders are carrying through that first turn. And check this out. It is John Natalie and Joe Byrd wheel to wheel, side by side, coming out of those first few turns. And it looks like Joe Byrd is going to take over the early lead with the number 13 of John Natalie back in second. And now look who's opening up in the third place position. It's the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones. We may be seeing something here in Moto number 2 that we didn't get the opportunity to see in Moto number 1 because of the misfortunes of the Suzuki rider. We've got a three-man battle beginning to break away already, and this is only lap number 1 here in Moto number 2. Down off Mount St. Helens, here comes Joe Byrd, your early leader from Union City, Tennessee. He took a third in Moto number 1. Second place rider, your winner of Moto number 1, the 13 of John Natalie, but here comes the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones as they head into Little Talladega now. No changes as, again, they're beginning their breakaway. 1, 2, and 3. These riders could be the only 3 riders in the showdown to the checker flag in this 20-minute plus 1 lap moto. It is hard to believe that this is just the first lap of this intense race that we're about to witness, with Byrd out front, Natalie in second, Jones in third aboard the number 2, and then back there in the fourth place position, the number 12 of Keith Little. And check that out, the 55 of Digger Doug Dust just outside the top 5 as we near the completion of lap number 1 here in Moto number 2. Tough break for some of those Yamaha pilots like Pat Brown and Travis Spader, who found themselves dead in the water about midway through Moto number 1. They're trying to redeem themselves here in this second moto. We'll see if they're able to do it. We've got a battle for the lead now breaking down. It is the number 7 of Byrd being challenged by the number 13 of John Natalie, and all the while their favorite fan and spectator back there in third place, the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones, is watching it all unfold. Again, look how rough the racetrack is here in this second moto of racing. We thought it was rough in Moto 1. It is that much rougher here in Moto number 2. Still not able to get around. Natalie is back in the number 2 spot, laying chase still to the number 7 of Joe Byrd as our jockeying for position continues. There comes the 199 of Pat Brown trying to work his way up through the pack right now. And look behind the number 13 of Natalie now. That looks like Jeremiah Jones is still well within the hunt, and he may be trying to sneak up to put a wheel in on both of these riders, the 13 and the 7, and maybe trying to make a double pass on these riders. We'll just have to wait and see. As they say, time tells all stories, and we've got a heck of a story to be told here as we are up that first uphill section. Again, it doesn't look that challenging on the TV screen, but let me tell you folks, this is some very steep terrain out here, and as we make this hard left-hand turn and make the flight to the top of the hill, this is about a 500-foot run of about 300 feet of elevation change. It's about 300 feet straight to the top of that hill, and only about 500 feet of actual track surface to get it done, and a lot of horsepower soaked out of those machines. There's Matt White, the number 32, who did so well in the qualifying races on Saturday, but struggling, it appears, here in the second moto of the pro race on Sunday. He did quite well, it looked like, in Moto number 1, but this is going to take him way back. Look at this. Looks like the 13 did make the pass. He did it so subtly that you hardly didn't even notice him get around the number 7 of Joe Byrd at the bottom of that hill. Now it is all John Natalie, and again, the questions, will anybody be able to dethrone this man as he is beginning to open up a little bit of a lead? And we see that battle from first place transition now into the battle for second, now between Joe Byrd and Jeremiah Jones. Jones just trying to stake some sort of a claim after that horrible first moto where he finished 14th place position after being punted at the top of the first uphill section in Moto number 1 on lap number 1. But here in Moto number 2, lap number 2, he is on the gas and challenging Byrd for the second place position. If nothing else, a ride for pride for that Suzuki pilot. Jeremiah Jones back in third, trying to chase down the number 13 of Natalie, but first he's got to get through that number 7 of Joe Byrd. The battling continuing behind them now, and it looks like another Suzuki just outside the top 5. Let's take take a look at that Parts Unlimited leaderboard. It is Natalie after 2 laps, Byrd in second, Jeremiah Jones in third, Keith Little in fourth, and Joe Havistow in fifth. But right on the rear wheels of Joe Havistow is the 55 of Digger Doug Gus, trying to break into the top 5 and maybe reel in his racing compadre there, the number 2 of Jeremiah Jones, who is in a heated battle now for that number 2 spot here on lap number 3 of our race. Will he be able to get around Byrd as we see him going nearly wheel to wheel coming out of that turn up that first uphill section? And look how rough that section of the racetrack has gotten. Looks like a virtual whoop field going uphill. And look how tight this battle is for second and third. And believe it or not, they're not far off the pace right now of the number 13 of John Natalie. So if the number 2 of Jones can get around Byrd, he is still well within striking distance of John Natalie, Moto number 1 winner.